righty.
All right, we're good to go.
Hello, everybody. This is episode number 2. My guest today is an excellent friend, good guy, hard worker, very respectful and kind to those around him. And this is Jimmy.
But many know me as Donald Johnson.
Donald Johnson. Yes, Jimmy Donald Johnson. From episode 1, some people, that reviewed it, my mom and a couple close friends, they said I need to do an intro or have some sort of, just lingo. So I want to read a couple ideas to you guys, and I'd love to get your thoughts. So this is Lemon Bar Media Podcast. My first idea is the best podcast online.
It's a little strong, isn't it?
Yeah, we won't use that one. We won't. So this is the second idea. Get a snack and listen up. No?
It's all right.
No?
It's all right. It's nothing fancy, but...
So if you heard that at the start of a podcast, get a snack and listen up.
I mean, it's all right.
Oh, man. No, but honestly...
most people don't just sit down, turn on the podcast like it's... Most people have it... I mean, I guess some people have podcasts, they just watch them. But, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Those are some pretty... aggressive and shocking opening lines, but this is what I really wrote down. Lemon Bar Media Podcast is, kind of a corny startup that I felt inspired to attempt, just to practice with video and, audio and editing and all that. But the slogan of Lemon Bar Media is hungry to learn, hungry to create. Our guests are motivated and genuine people. We are faith-based and give the glory to Jesus Christ. All ages are welcome to listen and watch. Listen to our podcast discussions on various topics, and we focus on the creativity and dreams of others. We also encourage guests to tell the world about their gifts and just their goals moving forward. And it's a mission of ours to involve creative people, like-minded people, and support them in their dreams. So that's Lemon Bar Media. What do you think about that one?
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good deal. All right. Well, thank you so much for embracing the immediate setup and just the change today.
Yeah.
I set up this podcast in the matter of like 45 minutes. We had to move rooms, but
we had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I broke a little bit of a sweat, little technical difficulties, but here we are. We're just doing what we can for right now. It's a new deal. First question, just as an icebreaker, I like to ask is, how's your week? Your week's good?
It's been pretty good. I'm off yesterday, today, and tomorrow, so...
Awesome.
Pretty good.
Good deal. Work's been good, though, overall?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What time do you wake up in the morning again?
At 5.
Yeah, I think waking up at like 6:30 that's early, but...
Yeah.
Tell them what you also do in the morning, first thing.
Not every day, almost every day, once I can really get it dialed in, but I'm kind of lazy. I jump into cold plunge every morning at 5, maybe 5:15. It might be about 45 degrees for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, depending how I feel. But yeah, it's just the best way to get started, And sometimes when I do that, I don't even drink any coffee because you don't really need it. So
Just wakes you up. Just gets
Oh,
the
yeah.
nerves going.
Oh yeah, and then you don't even feel groggy or you know how when you wake up you kind of feel kind of warm and hot still when you wake up.
Yeah.
That's just gone. So
Got you.
you feel nice and cool for the first half the day at least.
So the cold plunge, it makes you alert.
Yeah.
Again, we kind of
I
talked
mean, it really
about
doesn't
this.
make you that alert. It just makes you wake up, makes you focus.
Yeah.
Gives you energy.
What did you say about the dopamine again?
Yeah, it gives you an extended, I think, up to 7 hours dopamine and serotonin release. And there's not really a safe drug, I would imagine, that could do that,
Yeah.
from my knowledge. But yeah, I mean, it's good for you. Helps you with your sleep, helps you with your clarity, blood flow regulation. I mean, it just helps you with your skin health. It helps you with everything. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. I always saw like in the movies and stuff, they would do cold plunges if they were like injured.
Yeah.
Or like
the athletic
but
people do
you
it.
can do it just to do it then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits.
It's great.
Yeah.
I don't know, 45 degrees at 5:15, I don't know.
Well, the goal is to get colder. So the goal is to make it colder. Now I'm just doing it with ice, so it's kind of hard to keep the temperature where you want it. So the goal is to do about closer to 40. You can't really get below 35 with ice.
Can you get like hypothermia from that? Or is it
If you do it for longer than 10 minutes, I think with 35 or below, maybe 15 minutes max. I don't think you're supposed to do it much longer than that. I mean, you can go surprisingly long.
that's next level.
Yeah, I mean, I know if you're working out and you're trying to get recovery benefits, you don't want to do it directly after doing any weight training. But for cardio, if that's all you do is cardio, and you want to, train more often and recover quicker, you can do it right after. So,
It's great.
yeah.
What about, you said there's a lot of benefits. What have you've been doing it what, maybe 2 months now?
Maybe a month and a half.
All right, so a month in from doing cold plunges at 5 in the morning.
Not always 5 in the morning. Maybe I might do it later on my off days.
I got
A
you.
little bit.
So what have you noticed just from doing that, like right out of the gate?
I mean, it definitely, it's weird. I can be pretty high strung naturally. So I would say it actually doesn't it gives me energy, but it kind of helps me balance my energy. I don't feel, it's weird. You just feel, honestly, it makes me feel relaxed.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of like an ease of mind,
Yeah.
ease of,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
How much did you say it was for your little rig?
My rig was like $160, but eventually, I don't know, I got a couple ideas. I might change it into something else, and I just add ice to it. I put some Epsom salt too. Epsom salt helps with your blood flow, helps you get used to the temperature quicker. But I do that every now and then, not every time.
It's great.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Well, on top of that, you can kind of involve what inspires you in that area. But I guess the first question I'd like to ask, just to get to know, I know we haven't gone like deep, we're friends, but we haven't gone like super deep and getting to know each other. So like, what on a day-to-day basis, what inspires you? Like what gets you out of bed in the morning?
Yeah, I mean, I would say before I met Jesus and had that relationship, you kind of just wander and you're just walking through life, don't really know what you're doing.
Yes.
But now, you kind of have a purpose, you have a goal, you have a challenge, I mean, yeah, it's still your life, but it's bigger than just you, and you're not alone. So, I mean, I would just say it's just to love God and love my neighbors,
It's
just
great.
try to do that well.
Yeah.
So,
It's really cool. I find that really cool because you're not, you kind of took an approach of like, not like interior, like me, you kind of were like you said love your neighbors and
Yeah.
do your best for your neighbors, and so that's kind of like it's not a lot of people that would say that.
Well, I mean, we all try to be a better person, but
Yes.
but from that, you just try to love God and love your neighbors, and that's enough. That's
Yeah.
enough. So it's definitely not. It's simple, but it's not a small deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about as far as like your hobbies? Do you have any hobbies that you kind of look forward to?
Um, let's see. I mean, I watch TV. I like to go to the movies.
Are you
Trying to
kind of a movie critic a little bit?
definitely a little bit of a movie critic, but I think everybody is nowadays.
Yeah.
So, but listen to audiobooks, some fiction, some help, self help or
Yeah.
health stuff, challenging
great.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get more back into reading, just fiction stuff.
That's
But
great.
yeah, I'm trying to just hang out with my friends more, so that's good. Try to spend some more time in the Word with friends. So
100%. That's great.
yeah,
What are some of the fiction books that you like? I'm not much of a big fiction book guy.
yeah,
I kind of like stuff that, you know, like dream oriented.
dream oriented.
Does that phrase make sense?
Does that phrase make sense? I get, yeah. You mean by dream, like in your dreams, like you're having a dream and that's the book?
No, not necessarily. It's more or less like setting goals, achieving them, kind of like
Oh, okay, my bad. I guess I was
Yeah.
missing that. What? But you like those kind of books, just goal oriented books?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, chasing your dreams, achieving your goals, setting yourself up for success, whether it's financially, creatively, um, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really like reading those books. I like, love and relationships. I'm reading a book right now that a good friend recommended to me. Um, I'm probably going to talk to them at some point about that on here, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I like books that teach you more about yourself, teach you more about what you want, and you can kind of process you can just learn more about yourself and what you're passionate about. It's
Yeah.
kind of books like that I
Do you have
enjoy.
have any books to recommend?
I would recommend the book Chasing the Lion. It's a really good book.
Who's it by?
I forget the guy's name, but it's
It'll
really
be in the
good.
link in the description.
Yeah, we might leave a link in the description. We'll see. But
Yeah.
yeah, that book is really good. Another book that I really have taken note of is Wild at Heart.
Yeah.
That's a really good
It's a
one.
great book. It's definitely a must read.
Yes, especially for young men like you and I.
Oh yeah.
It's very good. Yeah, those are books just in recently that I've read. Ooh, there's this book that is really interesting. It's called Traveler's Gift.
Oh yeah, I've read that book.
Yeah,
It's a very good book.
yeah, that one's pretty
I might
special.
give that a reread actually.
Yeah,
do
that
that.
that one's a gem. It's very cool.
Yeah.
This guy, when I say time travel, it's more of just it's time travel, but not. How would you describe it? It's time travel, but it's like going from World War II to meeting Anne Frank
Abraham
to
Lincoln.
he. It's a fictional book about playing pretend on what it would be like to be around key figures in history,
Yeah.
people that you learn about.
Another good book like that I read is called They Were Christians. I don't remember the author, but a couple of them I didn't necessarily know for sure if I thought they were Christians.
Couple key figures though.
But they were all inventors. They just changed the world with their discoveries. Yeah, it was very very big name people that had a big effect on the future in the world we live in today. But they were all Christians.
That's
So,
great.
yeah.
It's phenomenal. Let me think here. Other than books, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about that maybe inspires you, just as an individual, hobbies wise?
I mean, I'm kind of new on the field of pipe smoking. My grandfather's got me into it,
Yeah.
but he's definitely somewhat of a tobacconist. He knows the best pipe makers in the country, and
Yeah.
but he's got me into it. It's a good thing that we can bond over and spend some time
For sure.
together. So, but I definitely enjoy that. Just relax, just sit on the porch, relax, chill, pray, or clear my head, just think about stuff.
It's great.
So it's a little challenging to do in the summer. Even late at night, depending if it's hot. But yeah,
Definitely.
so yeah,
It's great.
but yeah, I like doing that. I like swimming. I'm trying to find an outdoor pool this summer I can swim in some more. My grandparents have one, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to swim there some.
It's great.
Yeah, I swim with the wife sometimes, but it's kind of dark down there in the basement. I feel like I think it's like the basement where the pool is. So it's kind of dark.
Yeah.
So
It's funny. Do you like to do you like to go on the what are they called? Diving boards?
I mean, I'm not that good at it yet.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna do some more research into that.
Mhm.
On how to breathing correctly and different swimming strokes, and how to really do that. So they have earplugs. I mean, this old guy was recommending some wax earplugs.
Yeah. In the Olympics, it's really funny. They've got those things that like go over your nose like that,
Yeah, well, it's a big deal because I mean, if you're moving, you get water in your ear, and you feel the pressure in your ear, and then if you're breathing too irregular or hard, you're swallowing air and water. You feel kind of sick. You start slowing down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be pretty rough if you just go in there and just start smacking the water. Yeah, you can really get tired. And yeah, I mean, I hadn't done it in a while. When I went and did it the other day, a couple weeks ago, I went and I thought I stretched my shoulder muscle out or overexerted something in my hip. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was fine. It took a couple days.
It's good.
Yeah.
How long do you think you could tread water?
I don't know. I used to be a terrible swimmer when I was younger. I was so skinny.
Really?
Oh, I would just sink. I would sink straight to the floor. But now, I mean, I'm definitely a lot better. I mean, I'm no professional swimmer, but I do enjoy swimming.
What do you think? Maybe like 5 minutes? 5 minutes is a while.
To hold my breath underwater?
No, to
No,
tread water.
tread water, yeah. I mean, just to tread. I mean, I don't know. I think I could get close to that. I don't know. I mean, tread. I mean, I could sit and float on my back. I could float on my back in some pools.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that the salt water has something to do with it. I don't know for sure. So
Yeah.
I think salt water or chlorine or the ocean, the beach will just take you out
Yeah.
if you're not careful. So you're not just going to tread water out there. Get pulled out into the ocean. But yeah,
It's great. I love it. Swimming. You got a passion for swimming.
yeah.
Books. You know what I mean? Learning. That's great. Literature and agua.
Yeah, literature and agua.
I thought that'd be funnier than anyway. Didn't quite land. It's all good.
It's okay. You can always try again.
You can.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I love it. Yeah, I'm trying to do reading as well. Not so much the swimming though. I'm not too passionate about that, but
Yeah.
that is very cool. I find that really cool. Well, next question. What has the good Lord, our Savior Jesus Christ, what has He done in your life in the last year?
Last year.
You can go shallow with it. You can go deep, like just
You
whatever
know,
you're comfortable with.
You know, in the world we live in now, a lot of people think that you can sacrifice truth when loving others. And you kind of can't, especially nowadays. I mean, if you have family or any friends that, have had any drug addiction, you really can't, you can't sacrifice truth for love, because people, if you don't tell people that that aren't living right and they're, falling back into drug addiction or anything, I mean, they'll die nowadays. You don't really get that many chances now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and, I had a friend die, and, I probably could have warned them a little bit more intently. I feel like, hindsight, that's always 2020. But I guess I've just learned, I feel like God's just told me, he's like, look, love doesn't fear, love doesn't cower, love does, and it's active. And, when you see somebody, a friend, or really anybody you see that they're caught, by sin or whatever it is, you have to, if there's an opportunity and God's giving you an opportunity to speak in their life, especially if they're, you're kind of close to them, you're obligated to. Otherwise, you're not loving them. You're obligated to tell them, like, hey, that's not right. It's detrimental to you. It's killing you. Whatever it is. So.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to navigate, because you don't want to offend them.
Yeah, you don't want to offend them.
But you want what's best for them. You want to do it. You want to treat them. If you were in the same situation, you want to treat them how you would be treated,
Yeah.
And that can be difficult to navigate.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't have it down.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that I think about more often, because, I mean, nobody wants to look back 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years, be like, wow, I should have said this or I should have said that. Because maybe that person would be there, or maybe that person wouldn't have continued in that relationship, or wouldn't have gone down that path, or whatever it would be. You think you can just encourage people and be a nice guy, but that's not really what we're called to do exactly. It's not that black and white.
Yeah.
So,
That's great. Yeah, you forget in the Bible where it says it, but what does it say? You have to like hate what your brother and your family, like you have to hate their way of life if it's not pleasing to the Lord,
Yeah, I don't know exactly where that is, but
it says something like that. We're both getting better with the addresses.
It just says, it definitely says you have to hate sin. I know that.
Yes.
You have to hate what the Lord hates, and He hates sin.
Yes.
So, yeah. But, yeah. It's not easy out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't do it without God, that's for sure.
You cannot.
No.
You cannot do it without God.
Yeah.
I know I can't,
Oh, yeah.
dig myself in a hole I can't get out of,
Oh, yeah.
quick. But next question is kind of a similar topic as the last question, but in your life, well, I'll just kind of introduce the question a little bit. In my life, there's been a couple moments, I can't fully describe them, but I just knew for a fact that, there was something supernatural going on, whether it's an interaction with a person, whether it's, just something I overcame, like in my mind or my heart, if I was able to forgive somebody that like hurt me or whatever, like that's just, there's evidence of like breakthrough, and I guess a question I'd like to ask guests in the future is, what are 2 or 3, however many you'd like to share, what are some moments in your life when you just knew that something supernatural, like Jesus Christ, stepped in and did something in your life for the better?
I would say 2016 when I got kicked out of my mom's house. And it was my first semester of college. I was probably going to drop out. And then I went to Renew. But before I went up to the farm, I was at the church and I was asked, do you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior? To be born again. And of course I just said, yes, because I didn't know what I was going to do or where, I didn't have anywhere else to go. But, it's just ever since then, everything has changed. It's completely different. I was a boy then, now I'm a man. And, it was just crazy because, God just took me from where I was, plucked me right out of, where I was and put me into it. And he just took control of my life, and my mom had prayed the day before that God would take control of her family.
That's great.
So yeah, it's pretty, and I didn't know that at first either. I didn't know that for a couple months. So that was pretty crazy.
That's great. Yeah, you were kind of in a low spot.
Yeah, I was very depressed, no motivation, no purpose.
The love of your mom and the love of God stepped in and said, "Hey, I've got an opportunity for you."
She kicked me out.
Been there, my friend.
Then another time when I was in the ministry, I was asked a question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And, I just saw, the idea of, being a man and making a difference, just being there for my friends, family, eventually having a family. But, just really being someone that people could count on. And at the time, whenever I was just visualizing that, I was a liar. I was a really big liar. And God just told me, he's like, hey, you're a liar. You're not going to go anywhere if you're a liar. But, it's just the way he told me that. I could tell that he had loved, I could tell he said it in love. And I just didn't really feel like anybody had ever said anything good in like a correctiveness and rebukeness like that in love to me. No, I just hadn't really felt that or heard anything like that in that way. And I knew it was true. And I stopped being a liar. So yeah, I guess God he just showed me his love and told me, hey, that's not who I made you to be. So,
yeah. It's great. Yeah, isn't it funny how when sometimes you're in the wrong and that your way of life is not quite, what your family, what you expect for yourself. You just kind of, you're going down a rough path, and then finally, so you're talking about the moment when you realized, wow, I've been lying to myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I've been believing the lie from evil,
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, it definitely changed my life forever.
That's amazing. I love it. Is there any other jaw-dropping moments when you were like, whoa?
Well, my dad he's been a Christian, you know. But I just remember after I got saved, became a born again Christian. I would hang out with him and talk to him, like, this is what I'm trying to do better at, just all these different things that I was challenging myself in areas, and I didn't realize it at first, but I was really, I guess it challenged him and inspired him, and I've never seen him happier and closer to God and with more joy than ever before my childhood, growing up or anything. And it's still life. Sometimes you have to work hard and longer. Sometimes, things are stressful. But I still never seen him this happy and joyful. So, and God did that with my life. So, he did that through me. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I find that really cool because you're able to see with your the word that comes to mind is blind. Like,
Yeah.
At one point you were blind, but now you can see, and you're able to see, God working in, your Father. You know what I mean? So that's really cool.
Well, and it was cool too, because I used to be so unaware of, any impact or influence I had on anybody, and it took God a while to really, knock that in my head, like, hey, you have an impact on people. And, also, being pretty tall, I didn't realize it, but just being a very tall person, just walking into a room even, you kind of have, I guess you could say, leverage. Like, people they literally are looking up to see you. So, it's, even when I was 18, 19, I was still really tall. So it's just weird. Sadly, I feel like people nowadays, we kind of age slower in a worse sense. We grow up slower. A lot of people do. I did. But yeah.
What's your personal opinion on the age? 18 is what most consider to be becoming an adult, but like that transition, what do you think what is your personal opinion, like, on average amongst maybe the world? What do you think that age is nowadays?
I think for a good bit of people, I think for people who don't have, that much support, whether it's financial or with their family or anything. I think it could still be 18, 21, early 20s for people like that. Even for some people who are in that category, and all the way up to, wealthy or, however they're raised up. You're still looking at, it could be mid 20s, could be even 30s early 30s for some people, or just late 20s. But still, back in the day, it used to be 14. You're a man.
Yeah.
So
I was a man at 14, 100%.
Oh yeah. I can see by your full beard. But
I got some whiskers.
Yeah, I think I don't have any family or kids, but I think definitely has to do with how people, how just we're brought up nowadays. It's just
that is a very intelligent and excellent point. The support of, I assume you're saying family, just their upbringing, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the way that, depending on how your support system is and the way you grow up, what you're surrounded with affects your how quick that you really grow up and start taking on your own responsibility. But I find what's interesting is like there's the response. How do you respond to a bad support system? You know, do you grow up and be like, hey, I gotta kind of fend for myself, or do you be like, hey, I had a rough go, I'm gonna, you know,
Just survive.
well, yeah, I'm gonna, you know, kind of take a few extra years to get my life together, you know?
Well, yeah, and I mean, honestly, I was just afraid of everything growing up. I don't know. I was just so. The world just seems so big.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I mean, it's definitely still feels big. But I mean, you know, we're all just human beings dealing with our own stuff in life, trying to live. You know, trying to have joy, purpose.
Yeah.
I think a good bit of people are, some people aren't, but you know, hopefully God can show people and wake them up to, you know, what He made them for.
Their purpose.
Yeah.
What is God's purpose for your life? That is is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I already said that, but
Oh, did you?
I mean, I would say it's purpose for my life. I mean, don't just be a bystander. You know, don't just be a follower or a conformer. You know, don't just conform. You know, don't be a droid or a what's it called when you're just a computer program in a game? What's it called?
Consumer, maybe, or
No, it's like in a game they call it. I can't remember.
a bot.
Yeah, well, yeah, bot. You know, but you know, it's easy just to survive. But you know, we weren't made to just survive. You know, so we were made for a whole lot more than that. So, and I think sadly, a lot of people were blind, you know, until we allow God to open our eyes, or He just opens our eyes, you know, because, you know, we're promised everlasting life in heaven, but also here on earth. So, and it's something you have to fight for, something you have to defend. It's something you have to proactively, you know, you have to use your life. It's not made just to store up and be greedy with, you know, He fills us up like with rivers of flowing water. Well, rivers of flowing water have to flow somewhere else.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Very good insight. You have a very knowledgeable approach to this sort of thing. That was really good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Final question.
Final round.
Yeah. What, if there's anything else you'd like to talk about, go for it. But I think this will be a fun one for you to talk about. What can we expect from Jimmy Donald Trey? Is that correct? Donald Johnson.
Donald Martin Johnson III, also known as Jimmy or Trey.
You know, that's interesting. Why Jimmy Donald Trey? Was that a nickname at some point?
Yeah, it's a nickname.
Okay.
Maybe on part 2, you'll find out where
Okay.
Jimmy came from, how he was born and brought into this world.
All right. What can we expect from Jimmy in the next year?
I'll be physically stronger, mentally stronger, and spiritually stronger.
Stronger in every area.
Yep.
It's great.
I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah. So you're wanting to excel at the gym. You're wanting to learn more and apply, you know, your maturity. That's what for mental, that's kind of what, is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just, I think as a man gets older, he should become more mentally strong. I mean, you can't, I guess there's some ways you can just work out to do that, but I think life will do that by itself. I definitely think that the cold plunge exposure also helps a little bit, but spiritually, that just means challenging myself to just step out and, it's easy whenever it's easy to just, if you see somebody down on their luck, whether they're homeless or you can just look at somebody in your work, whether when you're working or whatever, it's easy to just be like, I'll just help them next time or whatever. But, people don't always have next time, or you might never see that person again, or, you don't know what they're, you don't know if they're going to make it through the day. Tomorrow's not promised. And, honestly, I heard one of the biggest apologetics to atheists I heard not too long ago was, what was it? It was, well, if God is real and, if the Christian faith and everything about it was true, Jesus Christ died on the cross to save me and you and everybody from our sins so that we could have life eternal with God and have life here abundant, then you would think that people would really be making an effort to share that. Hey, there's a bus coming, it's going to hit you, you move out of the way. You would think that people would really be making an effort to do that. And I fall short of this every day to do that, but it's something I haven't been able to get out of my head. It's like, that guy's right. You'd think, I'm not saying we should go around and just harass people, but every day we see somebody, for us that work in the world, especially, we see somebody that just doesn't look happy. It doesn't have joy. It doesn't have, you just see it. And, it's easy to say, oh, well, I don't have time, or they're busy, or I'm busy. But there's time. There's always time, so, we just have to ask God for those opportunities and step into faith and, be actionable about that. We have to be on watch.
Faith without works is dead.
Yeah. But it's very hard, and, you can't kill yourself about it, but, you definitely can't, we can't be asleep. We can't be asleep as Christians. Yeah. So.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, any closing thoughts?
What is your podcast on YouTube?
The podcast is on YouTube. At some point in the near future, I would like to have it on a website. I'm very motivated to. I enjoy talking to people. Podcasts have kind of risen just online. It seems like every creator that you happen to see is doing some sort of a podcast. And I'm no creator by any means, but I really just want to get practice with, video, audio, editing, and I also want to learn more about the people that I have in my circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm very motivated by art, whether it's painting, whether it's music, whether it's video, film. I'm just trying to, you asked about the podcast specifically, but it's more than just a podcast, what I'm doing. The podcast is just, you know, it's just kind of a start of kind of a bigger vision. You know, I'd like
The
to
brand.
have, yeah, kind of like as a brand, but I'd like to, you know, have, you know, I don't know if it's called compilation albums. You know, I'd like to get people involved, you know, and just make really good music together, you know, whether it's worship, kind of, you know, folky, just, I just, music-wise, I want to get people involved, you know, because some people just,
Yeah,
there's a
plenty of
really
people with talent.
there's a really big learning curve to the music thing, you know what I mean? And I don't know a ton, but I know enough to get a demo or two out there, you know.
Yeah.
So between the podcast, music, film, short films, I'm actually going to have a script probably out by the end of the month, just for a short film, and I'm going to look for actors, and I just want to make kind of like 3 or 4 times a year, I'd like to have a short film out, you know, whether it's, you know, just a story about, you know, somebody having an interesting exchange, a fun exchange, a wholesome exchange at the grocery store, and just get permission from Whole Foods or Aldi
There's plenty of
or Publix, you
plenty
know.
of content and all the people you know's lives to extrapolate the stories too. So
Yeah, I'm hungry to learn, and I'm hungry
to create.
to create. You see, you've already got it. This guy's a lifer, you guys. But yeah, this is just a really big passion of mine, is, you know, all things film, music, and art, you know. So, but as of right now, I've got episode 2 of a podcast that I just completed. So
Yeah, and if you like and enjoy, leave a like and subscribe. There you go.
leave a like and subscribe, you know.
Comment if you have any.
I'm not really big. I don't want to
things.
advertise, you know, like, subscribe, comment, share.
No,
you know.
Comment's good.
Comments are
I
good.
mean, comment if you have any guests that you think would be good in
For
the
sure.
local area.
Yeah. But yeah. Just going to keep chipping away, learning what we can, and just get more fun, faith-based content out for everybody. So,
Nice.
thank you guys so much for listening and making it this far. It's a little bit of a longer episode, I feel like. But Jimmy, thank you for your time. Do you want people to follow you on socials, or
No, I don't really do social media.
you don't?
No,
I love that.
A little
That's
bit,
great.
But
It's excellent.
yeah.
All right. Well, but yeah, thank you again, and that's episode 2. More content to come.
Nice.
Cut.
You chewing gum?
Yeah, let me put that up.
Did you just get that gum out?
No.
You could have just swallowed it. You'll be fine. You know your socks are inside out?